ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Very beautiful bhajan, one of my favorite, sung by Govinda Das Thakur. He says, Bhaja hure mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. He could have used any name. Nanda Nandan means who? Krishna himself, son of Nanda Maharaj. He could have said, Bhaja hure mana Shri Krishna. Shri Nanda Nandana. क्या जरूरत है ऐसे बोलने की? श्री नंद नंदन, श्री कृष्ण बोलते हैं. So he's saying Shri Nanda Nandana because when the names of Krishna are associated with his devotees, Krishna is very pleased, very happy. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, so dear to Krishna, so dear. When Krishna appeared in Vrindavan, Nanda Maharaj, he saw suddenly opulence has increased in Vrindavan. That's what the gopis are singing in Gopi Geet. Jayati tedhikam janmana vrajaha shrayata indira shashwadatrahi. So gopis are saying that, oh Lord, when you appeared in Vrindavan, the opulence of that place increased. And now when the opulence increased, Nanda Maharaj had tension. His tension was, agar Kans ko pata chal gaya, then it will be a big problem. And what will be the problem? He'll come and search. So why suddenly? Then he'll find Krishna and he'll kill Krishna. So Nanda Maharaj decided, I'll only go and give the opulence to him as tax. Nanda Maharaj went. And there he met his brother, and his brother's name was Nanda Maharaj's brother? Cousin brother? Vasudev? They're brothers, no? Nahin? Vasudev and Nanda Maharaj, they're somewhat related as brothers. Now see, when both of them met, understand the intensity. Now Vasudev has shifted Krishna from Mathura jail to Gokul Mahavan. He knows that he is the same boy. And Nanda Maharaj does not know Vasudev did this. And now Vasudev wants to ask, how is my Krishna? He cannot ask. Because if he asks like that, then it will be clear that he knows everything about Krishna. So he is not able to ask. And look at this. Only Vasudev came to meet Nanda Maharaj. Devaki didn't come. Vasudev didn't get Devaki to meet Nanda Maharaj. Because he was knowing very well, agar Devaki ko le aayenge, she'll open up all the secret. And this will not be proper. So better I go alone and meet. Now when these two fathers are talking, Vasudev and Nanda Maharaj, the talk is so intense. So very intense. Vasudev is trying to indirectly ask questions. Sab theek hai na? Balram kaise hai? He can ask about Balram because Rohini is his wife. So he can ask about Balram, but he cannot ask about Krishna, so he's not asking. All the cows are okay, others are okay. Indirectly he's trying to understand, if everything is okay, then my son will be okay. So everything is okay, chalo Hari bol, good. And then Nanda Maharaj is trying to ask, and he's trying to pacify. Pacify is the right word. Because he knows very well Vasudev has lost 6 sons. Kans killed 6 of them. 7th one was a miscarriage. He does not know it was Balram. And 8th one, he does not know that it was his daughter. He thinks it is Vasudev's daughter. And 8th one flew in the sky. That's what he knew. Because that's how everyone spoke about. So now he's trying to pacify, oh, you went through such a terrible situation. And now Vasudeva, he's holding that in the heart. Arey, wo mera hi bachcha hai, Krishna is my son, and he's not able to tell. When an intense discussion is going on, Shukadeva Goswami is describing all this. Parikshit Maharaj is hearing all this. And then Vasudeva is telling Nanda Maharaj, go back to Gokul Mahavan as soon as possible. A lot of disasters will take place. And Nanda Maharaj started. And Shukadeva Goswami, when he's speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj that Putana arrived in Vrindavan. And you know what happened to Parikshit? He became tense suddenly. What will happen to Krishna? Now, for your information, Parikshit Maharaj has heard 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then comes 10th canto. And Srila Prabhupada says, anyone who reads 9 cantos properly, he'll realize that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, all-powerful, omnipresent, omnipotent, etc. So Parikshit Maharaj heard all of that. He knows Krishna is supreme, no evil spirit can do anything to him, but still he got scared. And you know why? Because Parikshit Maharaj, when he was hearing the 2 fathers speaking, he also got that mood of parenthood. And he also had that bhava towards Krishna as a parent, and he became fearful, what will happen to my Krishna? And then Shukadeva Goswami said, tension matlab kuch nahi hoga, is Bhagavan. So in this way, Nanda Maharaj is a very, very special personality. One of the poet, he says that I don't pay obeisance to anyone. I pay obeisance to that personality in whose angan, in whose courtyard Krishna plays. That is Nanda Maharaj. He wants to pay obeisance to Nanda Maharaj because he's very, very fortunate. When Yashoda Maya is feeding milk to Krishna and all the pastimes are going on, so Parikshit Maharaj is asking his Gurudev, when he's hearing all these pastimes, क्या किया था यशोदा और नंद महाराज ने? क्या किया था? And the question क्या किया था, it actually describes the mood of Parikshit. Tell me what did they do? I'll also do that because I also want to get that opportunity to feed Krishna, to serve Krishna. That's the position of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. And in this song, when Govinda Das is talking about Nanda Nandan, he's talking about those personalities. And see what he's trying to do in this song. Bhaja hure mana. Oh manaha. Oh mind. You stupid mind. Worship Nanda Nandana. Worship Krishna. Why mind is stupid? It is in its own world, isn't it? Like as of now, as soon as there's a pause which I give, you go around everywhere and come back. That's how the mind is. Therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he sings, Gopina Manaje Pagala Mora Namane Shasana Sada Chetana Vishayero Heche Ghora. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Oh Gopinath, oh my Lord, Manaje Pagala Mora, my mind is mad. Everyone agrees? His mind is mad. Manaje Pagala Mora. Namane Shasana. Mind does not like any authority. कुछ भी instruction मिलता है पहले, the mind will say, क्या सुनना है सब, खुद का करेंगे. Isn't it? How many of you agree? Yes, everyone. Therefore, in bhakti, hearing spiritual master and following the instruction is very difficult. Very difficult. Because mind does not allow. Mind will always tell, अरे ये सब लोग तो बोलते रहते, इनको काम धंधा है नहीं कुछ करने के लिए. शास्त्र में लिखा होगा तो ये सब किताबी है. It is all शास्त्रिक, right? ऐसा थोड़ी practical थोड़ी है. It's not practical. We will decide what is practical. I am experienced. I still remember distributing bhagavad-gita to my HOD when I was working as a faculty in the college. So I went to him December month. वो अलग कीड़ा था book marathon का. So I went and convinced my HOD that you take a Bhagavad-gita. And he was like, I know entire Bhagavad-gita. I said, you read that? So wonderful. You know what he said? He said, no, I am not read. I am experienced. I know everything that is written. And that day I realized, what is the use of the degree called PhD? It's just permanent his damage. And I could see that in him. I could see that in him. By the way, not all PhDs. We have some PhDs sitting. Not all PhDs are like that, but yes, some do. It's a very important thing to note that mind does not like authority, and that's what he's saying. Oh Manaha, oh mind, worship Krishna, take shelter of Krishna. Okay, there is a question that comes. Okay, if I worship Krishna, what will I get? ठीक है, मैं नंद महाराज के नंदन का भजन करूंगा. What will I get? Abhaya charanara vindare. You'll become fearless. Just to ask a question, what fear we have in life? Huh? No fear. Srinidhi Prabhu is saying no fear. Every step. And Mataji is saying every step is a fear. Okay. What fears we have? Okay, fear of losing. Okay. And? Fear of? Oh, fear of death. Yes. And? Nikhil Prabhu, what fear you have? Okay. समझ रहा हूँ, घर का आवाज कौन है? What else? What are the other fears that we have? In general, what people have outside? Fear of unknown.
Fear of others. What will others think?
What will others think? What will others say? Huh? Old age is a fear. There's one Sanskrit poet. He gives 9 types of fear. Mast laga mujhe ekdam slow. Very beautiful. You all can repeat. Bhoge roga bhayam. You know what is meant by that? While enjoying life, the bhaya is, oh, I'll get disease. That is the bhaya. The disease ho gaya to fir enjoy nahi kar sakte. Second, kule chuti bhayam. If I do this particular thing, then what will happen? Disgrace will come to my family. Now, sometimes people say, itna bhakti mat karo. What will the status of my family, or what will happen to the status of my family? What will my friends say? Etc. etc. Next, vitte nripalad bhayam. Vitte means wealth. Nripa means king. I have seen this when the salary is in certain slab. There's always a fear. Thoda sa increase hota hai, then yes, tax will increase. So as soon as riches increase, there's always a fear of tax. I have to pay more. It will be looted, by the government, by the king. Mane dainya bhayam. In a society where we have got a lot of prestige, honor, there's always a fear that I'll be humiliated in the public. And people are very, very reserved like that. Then he says, Bale ripu bhayam. He's saying that fear of enemies when in power. When someone is in power, especially politics or whatever, they're always fearful of the enemy. They will take over. Then he says, Rupe jaraya bhayam. When someone is very beautiful and they keep looking in the mirror, they're always fearful that jara will come, I'll become old, wrinkles will come and this and that or whatever. Then Shastre Vadi Bhayam. When someone is very learned, when he's known for his learning, he's always fearful that some opponent will come and defeat him. That's the fear. Khala Bhayam. Gunai Khala Bhayam. Now here he says, fear of the wicked in virtue. So whenever everything is going well, always there's a fear that someone will come and destroy that. And then he says, Kai Kritanad Bhayam. Anytime death can come, as someone said, fearful of death. Therefore, in this way, again and again, 9 fears are mentioned. And actually this summarizes all the fear that people have in this world. Fear of unknown, and this particular poet has put all the unknowns as knowns. And he has mentioned as 9 aspects of fear. So everyone is fearful, and there's only one way to become fearless, and that is Abhaya Charanarvindare. When we take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, then the person becomes fearless. In Ramayana, one person shifted the party from Ravan to Ram. Who was that? When Vibhishan shifted his party, he came on the other side of the ocean. And he was there. All these people have mystic power. He was flying in the air. All these monkeys who were there, they were looking at him. And they were all furious. He has come from Raman's party. Pull him and kill him. This is the only nara that they had. Only slogan. Pull him, kill him. And he said, go and tell Ram that I have come to take his shelter. And at that time, they all went to Lord Ram and they're asking that what we should do? He has come to take your shelter. And Ram is asking, what do you all think? What we should do? And everyone in chorus, pull him, kill him. Hanuman was asked, Hanuman, tum batao, kya karna chahiye? Vibhishan ke saath. At that time, Hanuman said, see, looking at his facial expression, his gestures, his body language, I feel that he's genuine. Accept him. And at that time, Lord Ram says, very beautiful shloka, please repeat. Sakradeva prapannoya tavasmiti chayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadam yetad vratam mama. Lord Ram is saying, he's telling all those people who are telling, no, pull him, kill him. He's telling them that Sakrit eva prapannoyas tavasmiti chayachate. Even if once someone comes and says, Tava asmi, I am yours, and they take my shelter, what do? Dadam yetad vratam mama, maine vrat liya hai. What is that vrat that Lord has taken? Abhayam sarvada tasmai, I make them fearless. I make them fearless. Just imagine, just by taking shelter of the Lord, a devotee becomes fearless. And literally I have seen in circle of devotees, our devotees only, how initially they had so much of fear, and with time as practice of bhakti continues, they become fearless. Maybe not completely, but to a very, very great extent. How many of you agree this? Hari bol, fearless. Once one Mataji was so fearless, she was saying, their kid was going through something. I said, how is your kid? You're very fearful about that. And she said, Prabhuji, after your class I heard, then I decided not to worry about the kid. Uska karma hai, jaane do. This is not conclusion of my class. This is not conclusion of my class. मतलब ऐसा fearless नहीं होना चाहिए, but yeah. Fearless in terms of, okay, Lord will help him, Lord will take care of him, let me pray for him, like that. So this is a fact. Many times, there are many unknowns which we are fearful of, especially what will happen to my kids in future, what will happen to me in the old age, etc., etc. But just by taking shelter of Krishna, the devotee becomes fearless. And that's why we see that the pure devotees of the Lord, the great sadhus, they are fearless. They roam around everywhere without any fear. They speak without fear. Arey Prabhupada ko le lo. He's going to a place, a hub of people, a hub where so many people are just into 4 activities: meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication. And Prabhupada is there amongst all of them. He sees that drugs liye baithe hue. People are dancing, people are hugging each other, people are eating meat and all that. And there, fearlessly Prabhupada says, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. Sometimes when scientists would come in front of him and scientists are giving their bogus theories, Prabhupada says, you rascal. And sometimes scientists would accept also. Hare Krishna. How come? This is called as fearlessness. Therefore, anyone who takes shelter of Krishna, that person becomes fearless. That's the great quality of taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. This is the key for fearlessness. Govinda Das continues and he says, Durlabha manava janama satsange tarahoe bhava sindhure. Durlabha manava janma. पता नहीं कितने बार सुना रहेगा ना हमने, मनुष्य जन्म इज दुर्लभ, मनुष्य जन्म इज दुर्लभ. वो घुसता नहीं अंदर. भागवतम says, दुर्लभो मानुषो गेहो देहिनाम क्षणभंगुरः तत्रापि दुर्लभम मन्ये वैकुंठ प्रिय दर्शनम. दुर्लभो मानुषो देहो. This Manusha Janma is Durlabh. Why this is Durlabh? Why it is called as Durlabh? Is only in this human form we can do bhakti, break the cycle of birth and death, go back home back to Godhead to serve Krishna eternally. Animals cannot do that. There are few exceptions in Bhagavatam, but you will not find those exceptions now in Kali Yuga. Only in Bhagavatam we have. So only human form. And it is said, Durlabho Manusho Deho. It's very Durlabh. Durlabho Manusho Deho. Dehinam Shana Bhangurah. And this Deha is Shana Bhangur. Anytime, anything can happen to this body. Recently, one of our devotees, when he came and he told me that he's going to undergo an operation because of so-and-so issue in his abdomen. And then I was thinking myself and telling him also that externally we are so fit. But what will happen at what time, no one knows. No one knows. Internally, some tumor and some this, some that, and oh God. One of my students whose sister is a doctor, so he was sharing that his sister was telling, there was one 20-year boy, who just came out of the house with his friends to go somewhere and he collapsed because of heart attack. It was like 20 years is nothing. 20 years. Durlabho manusho deho dehinam shana bhangura. What to do? Tatrapi durlabham manye. Another shloka I would like to mention. Nrideham madhyam sulabham sudurlabham. In this shloka it is said, Nrideham adyam sulabham sudurlabham. We understood it's durlabh. But in this shloka it is said sulabham. Easily we have got it. कुछ मेहनत किए हम लोग, ऐसे ही मिल गया. We just took birth as a human being. But the problem here is it's Shanabhangur. And then in this song also it is said Satsanga. We have got association of devotees. So Durlabho Manusho Deho Dehinam Shanabhangura is there. Tatrapi Durlabham Manye Vaikunta Priya Darshanam. This is even more Durlabh. What is that? Getting association of devotees. And look at this. Govinda Das is saying that Durlabha Manava Janma Satsanga Tarahoe Bhava Sandhure. He's telling all of us, you have got rare human form. You have got even more rarest of the association of devotees. And now it's the time. Now it's the time. Quit this material world and go back home back to Godhead. Tarahoe Bhava Sindhure. Therefore, it is described many times, many devotees, they keep sharing this point, that how important it is to focus on devotional service, because we have got rare human form, and secondly, we have got association of devotees. See, for us, it's very easy. But you look at one side, association devotees, next side you look devotees, here, there, ito devotees, tato devotees, yato yami, tato devotees. But, literally, there are places where there are hardly any devotees. There are places where there are hardly any devotees to guide people. Here though it is so easy. We know one step after another what we have. सबको पता है कि हाँ अब ये शिक्षा के बाद ये है, अभी इसके बाद altar installation करना है, नहीं करेंगे तो पिटाई होगी. So naturally, yes, people do. So it is such a wonderful thing which I always feel, and always I get this encouragement that somehow by Lord's mercy, I have been pushed into the association of devotees. अगर भक्ति करने का मन भी नहीं करेगा, just by looking at devotees we feel like yes, we should do bhakti, isn't it? And say we are low someday, and by Lord's inspiration some devotee calls us and he starts inspiring. He shares something or speaks something that inspires us. Today morning, one devotee was asking this question, that when we sit in the class, we are going through some tough phase of life, and suddenly the devotee who is speaking, he starts the subject matter from that answer to that question. So what is it, Prabhuji? What is that? It is nothing but Paramatma connection, where Krishna is helping us through the devotees to go back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, this point becomes very, very important that after getting a rare human form, now it's the time. Now it's the time realizing that yes, I'm in association of devotees. I'm connected to the bona fide sampradaya. I have got this bona fide parampara, bona fide spiritual master, bona fide books, and now it's the time to go back home, back to Godhead. No question of relaxing. No question of relaxing. So this is the first stanza that Govinda Das is speaking. Next one he says, Shita atapa bata barishana vedina jamini jagire bifale sevino kripana durajana chapala sukha labhalagire. This shloka will be a bit bitter. It will be touching the pain points in the heart. Here it is said that after getting a rare human form, after getting the association of devotees, oh, I wasted my life. How I'm wasting my life? Because most of my time just goes in serving some wicked people. Where is it? Where does most of the time go? Anarthas. And? Office. So many, yes. Friends, relatives, etc., whatever, who are not favorable to bhakti. But what to do? Obliged. We have that obligation to serve. We have that obligation to follow what they say. And what is happening? Be it Shita, Atapa, Bata, Barishana. Be it cold, be it heat, be it winter, be it anything. I am just continuing suffering and serving these wicked people. For what? Just for one thing. Chapala sukha, flickering happiness. Everyone knows that anything and everything that is there in this world which gives us happiness is flickering. Sometimes devotees, some people do say, Prabhuji, flickering hai to bhi acha hai, kabhi chahiye hota hai. It's needed. But the thing is, investing a lot of time just for that, in a rare human form, in the association of devotees, is not the right thing. Therefore, he is lamenting on behalf of all of us, and he is saying that, so much of time is going. And that is a fact. Many times in the families, even married people having kids, they say that our parents are saying, bhakti limit mein karo. Pehli baat, this question comes ki kitna bhakti kar rahe? Tell me how many hours maximum we do bhakti? 3 hours? Okay, 2 hours chanting, 1 hour hearing, 1 hour reading. Anything else? Maybe deity worship, chalo, 1 more hour. 5 hours out of 24 hours. And then we get to hear कि limit में भक्ति करो, इतना भक्ति नहीं करना चाहिए, बाबा बन जाएंगे, साधु बन जाएंगे. This is a very important thing. Even changing the attire for that matter. Just by wearing dhoti kurta, people feel that बस अब ये घर छोड़ के चला जाएगा. And they don't know how much is attached to the family. But parents feel like that. See, when bachelors are doing bhakti, तो ये समझ सकते हैं, हाँ वो घर छोड़ के जाएंगे, they will become sannyasis or whatever. But married people having kids, so attached to kids and family and possession, when they are told that you leave home and go, that is really hilarious. Yeah. Therefore, one thing you have to understand is that there is no limit to bhakti. There is no limit. In fact, everything that we do is limited only. Because this body has so many limitations. Even if a person is very fired up, can he chant the entire day 24/7? Suppose, disclaimer, this offer is given that you sit at home, will give you double the salary. But the only thing that you have to do is chant Hare Krishna entire day. Maybe the person will say, no, I'll come to office. I'll come to office. No worries, I'll come to office. Nahi hai taste, kya kare? We don't have that taste. Therefore, our bhakti is always limited. Never we should think that we are doing something great. Therefore, the point that is made here is, just for flickering sense gratificatory happiness, somehow We are spending a lot of time in those activities which are not devotional activities. And therefore, 24/7, a devotee has to meditate on how can I increase my time in doing devotional service only. Prabhupada's strong statement. Before leaving the body, at least for 10 to 15 years, one should do full-time devotional service. 24/7, keval bhakti. There is nothing else apart from that. So therefore, one devotee asked me a question this morning. Prabhuji, pata kaise chalega 10 to 15 years bacha hai? What is the answer? Huh? Okay. Mata is saying, start now. बाकी को लोग कुछ नहीं बोल रहे. प्रभु जी हमें पता है लेकिन नहीं बोलेंगे. What to do? What to do? But one thing is there, that if we pray to Krishna and have a sincere desire that, oh Lord, as of now my situation does not allow me not to serve you 24/7, but I have this desire. You please sanction this desire. You say sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Oh Krishna, I don't know how to do that. You please help me. I want to serve you 24/7. I want to chant your holy names. I want to hear Krishna Katha. I want to serve you all the time. But I don't know how to do that. You please help me. You please inspire me. If Krishna inspires from the heart, everything is possible. He'll set up everything around us. He'll make everything favorable. And everything will be so favorable that we'll be able to engage ourselves 24/7 in bhakti. And in that state of mind, when we leave our body, then we can go back home, back to Godhead. He continues and he says, Edhana yaubana putra parijana ite ki ache paratitire. Why the person is very confident about life? Because of these personalities, these things. Dhana. Dhana means wealth. Especially people who are well settled, who have wealth. For them, it's very difficult to accept dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It's very difficult for them. Dukh. For they think, what is their dukh? No, it's all good. You're sitting in an AC room, on a couch, looking at your home theatre. And it's easy to say that, where is dukh? But one thing is there, just put yourself in the shoes of the beggars who are there in the hot sun, begging for one-time meal. Then we'll realize what is dukh. Tell me, is there any possibility of a very, very high monetary status, very rich person taking birth as a beggar next life? Do we have possibility of that? High possibility? Yes. So now tell me, in a rich family, taking birth and saying, where is dukh is easy. But then, when it comes to a beggar, he knows what is dukh. He knows very well. So the strength on which people boast themselves is dhana, wealth. And they're okay, happy. Second, yauvana. Yauvana means youth. When the energy is there in the body, people say, "Arey, koi bhi aaye dekh lunga. What is the problem? Everything is fine. Everything is good." But the person is so much in ignorance, he does not realize in next 20, 30 years, the person will grow old and every single part of the body will become weak. And to such an extent that the person would need the third leg for himself or a life partner himself, and that is stick. Therefore, Shankaracharya very beautifully says, Angam galitam phalitam mundam dashana vihina jatam tundam vruddho yatri grihatva dandam tadapina munchatya asha pindam. Angam galitam, the body will melt. Phalitam mundam, the hair will fall. Dashana vihina jatam tundam, the teeth will fall. And then finally, danda is needed, not sannyas danda. This danda to walk. And he says, still the desires don't go away. Still the desires don't go away. Therefore in Hindi they say, no, budhape mein jawani. That is seen. That is seen in people. So the strength that people boast about is yauvana. The third strength that he's putting is putra. Putra? Kids. Sometimes parents think that, Prabhu ji, aap ye sab bol rahe, dhan chala jayega, yauvan chala jayega, koi tension nahi, Prabhu. I've got a very, very humble, honest and obedient son. People are laughing. He will take care of me. He will take care of me, pakka. Actually, those parents are very fortunate who have those kids, who are not honest, not obedient and all, because they know कि कुछ नहीं हो सकता मेरा, केवल भगवान ही बचा सकते हैं. So sometimes this people feel it's a strength, and people are okay and relaxed. And parijana means relatives, friends and relatives. Sometimes people feel that is the strength. Oh, no problem. If not my kid, my friends and relatives will take care of me. And here he's saying very beautifully that what is the assurance? Ithe ki ache parat itire. What is the assurance of real happiness? Because of all these people, all these things, dhana, yauvana, putra, parijana. What is the guarantee? Kabhi bhi nikal jayega. What is the guarantee? And then he says, Kamala dala jala jivana talamala. Even if you have all that, even if you say it is guaranteed that they will all give you happiness, bhai, what is the guarantee of you living for long? And he compares such an amazing comparison. Very graphic. Lotus flower is there, and then we have the lotus leaf. As soon as a drop of water falls on the lotus leaf, it goes off in the water again. It will not stick to the lotus leaf. It will go off. So here Govinda Das is telling us and helping us to understand. He is telling your life is like that drop of water on the leaf of the lotus. Any time it can just get into the water. अगर बम्बई या हिंदी में बोले तो कभी भी टपक सकते हैं. Anytime we can leave the body. Anytime. And therefore he is saying, what is the guarantee? Bhai, what is the guarantee? Bhajahu Haripada Nitire. Understanding that do bhajan of Krishna. Now someone will ask, ye bhajan kaise karte hain? How to do bhajan of Krishna? And then he says, Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasya Re Pujana Sakhi Jana Atma Nivedana. So he's saying by Navavida Bhakti, one can do bhakti, one can do bhajan of Krishna. And the first one he says, Shravanam. You know what? When we're sitting like this and hearing, so you're doing Shravanam, I'm doing Kirtanam. And when we all chant the holy names, we're doing Kirtan together. When you share this, what you heard today, that is Kirtan. So when you do this Shravana and Kirtan, normally people feel, हाँ ठीक है कुछ अच्छी बात बोल रहे हैं तो सुन लेते हैं. It's not just अच्छी बात सुनना. It is so powerful, so very powerful. When we hear about the Lord, about His devotees, and about the process of devotional service, Bhakta, Bhakti and Bhagavan, जब ये तीन चीजों के बारे में सुनते हैं, at that time what happens? Naturally the heart becomes cleansed. Why we don't have interest in bhakti, why we don't get taste for bhakti? Because ignorance is covering. Our Rupa Goswami gives the example of jaundice. He says when the tongue is afflicted by jaundice, even if you put sugar in the mouth, it will be bitter. But when you keep taking the sugar candy, it will remove that layer of jaundice from the tongue. And slowly and steadily we will start feeling sweetness. So as of now, our situation is, taste is not there in bhakti because ignorance is there. We are covered with ignorance. And how this ignorance will go away? By doing Shravan Kirtan. Therefore, Lord Krishna, in Srimad Bhagavatam, very beautifully it is described. Shranvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanat Ridhantastoya Badrani Vidunoti Suhrutsatam. Just by doing Shravan, it is described that heart will become cleansed. But कभी-कभी एक क्वेश्चन आता है कि अपने आप कैसे cleanse होगा ये? So this particular shloka says, when you do Shravan, जब श्रवण करेंगे, what happens? Krishna personally enters the heart and he cleanses the heart. देख रहे हैं, we are so powerful, we are so great that we are hiring Krishna also as our servant. Can you imagine? कभी इतना दुख लगता है ना जब ये सोचते हैं कि भगवान क्या क्या कर रहे हैं हमारे लिए. It feels, so much of pain comes. Krishna personally enters and he cleanses our heart. बताइए, our heart is Little bit dirty? More dirty? Kitna bol sakte? How much dirty is our heart? Full dirty. Very, very dirty. Very, very filthy. You can just imagine a place, full of a pit of stool, urine and pus and blood and everything. And then you have been given seva. Prabhuji, thoda clean kar dijiye to. Mataji, thoda clean kar dijiye to. Prabhuji, urban clan ko call kijiye. Mujhe kyun bol rahe hain? Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me to do that? Can you imagine? Our heart is more filthier than any place filled with stool, urine, pus, mucus, bile, etc., etc. And Krishna personally cleans that. You know why he cleans? He cleans it as a token of appreciation because he sees you are hearing attentively. Okay, it's my reciprocation for you. I will clean your heart. Krishna cleans the heart like that. So whenever we are sitting and hearing, be rest assured that cleaning is started or cleaning is going on in progress. Board is there, cleaning in progress. And when you continuously keep hearing, our heart will be completely cleansed, and that day will not be very far when the kirtan is going on. When chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The tears will glide down from the eyes, not thinking when will this class get over, when will kirtan get over, but in ecstasy. Nayanam galadashru dharaya vadanam gadgadarudhaya gira. That day will come in our life also. Recently I was sharing in one class. Let's say we are dying. We are on the deathbed. And see everyone sitting here. Say we'll live for another 20 years. Pata nahi, jiyenge ki nahi, bas bol raha hu. Or else you will tell, Prabhuji ne bola hai, next 20 years maja karenge abhi. Say we'll live for another 20 years. We'll become senior devotees. Even if we want or we don't want, we'll be called a senior. And say we are on the deathbed. Okay? And on the deathbed, we are about to leave our body and some newcomers come to us. And they are asking, Prabhuji. And we open our eyes, kya hua? And then that person is asking, Prabhuji, the process works or not? Bhakti works? Bhakti works? Kya bolenge tabhi? If say we have not attained taste for Krishna, say we have not attained that state where we are able to relish Krishna consciousness, say we have not attained the state where we are able to witness the beautiful form of the Lord, what will we tell him? What will we tell him? Maybe we'll just close our eyes and not answer. And maybe a tear will glide कि थोड़ा अच्छे से भक्ति करना चाहिए था. Yeah. And just imagine the other way around. If someone comes and asks us, that Prabhuji, does this process of bhakti works? And just imagine, as soon as he asks the question, we open our eyes are glittering, and he says, it works. It works. His Holiness Kadam Kanan Maharaj, he did that for all of us. He made a video, and in that video he is telling, I am going on other side, meet you there. Process works. This is the glory. So we have to reach that stage, and Shravan Kirtan karne se hone wala hai ye. Just by doing Shravan Kirtan, we are going to reach that stage where a devotee can tell others before leaving the body, the process works. Please take it up more seriously. And you know what? This will be the best preaching ever. क्या पता हमारा शॉर्ट बना के शायद लोग पब्लिश भी कर दे, हाँ, process works, viral हो जाए, and so many people will take up devotional service. This is the actual service that we can do to the society before leaving the body. That is attaining perfection of human form. Therefore he is saying Shravanam Kirtanam, then Smaranam. जैसे श्रवण कीर्तन करेंगे स्मरण तो हो गए. Like if you remember, I started with how Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev, they were talking about Krishna. So naturally, when you hear attentively, when you close your eyes and think about what did Prabhuji speak today, and then he spoke about Vasudev and Nanda Maharaj speaking. Naturally, Smaran will happen. And various principles that we're discussing, naturally Smaran will happen. Smaranam. Vandanam. So when we have like this a beautiful altar at home, naturally we'll offer prayers. Naturally we'll pay obeisance to the Lord. Naturally it will happen. Therefore, I always say this point that every grihastha should have a very beautiful altar at home, where we have these specified photos given by the parampara. And when we look at them, when we offer worship, naturally that bhav will come, that feeling will come, oh, my Lord is here, I should pay obeisance. Sometimes I've seen devotees when they have altar at home, they do tell that probably little bit I'll be late for this program because I have not offered bhoga to my Lord. Sometimes I hear that. Naturally that comes. ऐसा नहीं कि force किया जा रहा है उनको. It's not that they're fearful. अगर अभी मैं भोग नहीं लगाऊंगा तो अभी next 4 दिन का खाना नहीं मिलेगा मुझे. Lord will take it away. No. It comes naturally, for the devotees. Obviously, when we have temple programs and all, we ourselves recommend devotees close the altar and come. No need to worship at home. But when we have 3D form of the Lord, the Archa Vigraha, then there is no option. They have to be fed. They have to be fed. And they have to be worshipped. We cannot just close the altar and tell them, okay, take rest, I'm going. That is not allowed for a 3D form of the Lord. Yes. And there are technicalities of that. I'll not get into it. What's the difference between Pattachitra and Archa Vigraha, etc. So the point is that when we have the altar at home, naturally we'll pay obeisance, naturally offer prayers. Next he says Pada Sevanam. Naturally we'll do various services. Cleaning the altar. Say some festival comes. Naturally we'll clean the entire altar, decorate the altar. Some people have a very small altar, ऐसे कोने में कहीं ऐसे ऊपर किसी को दिखना नहीं चाहिए. मेरे भगवान है तो किसी को दिखना नहीं चाहिए. And very small somewhere. Once in a while they'll open it to see if Lord is missing or he's still there. Close it. It's only the teachings of Srila Prabhupada that Prabhupada teaches us Krishna should be the center of the house. And that's how we see in all of our devotees' house, the altar is huge and it's the center of the house. Anyone who comes, they can see the altar. Here also we have such beautiful altar. So naturally what happens when we have such nice altar, immediately cleaning will happen, decoration will happen, bhoga offering will happen. Dasya, Archana, regular worship naturally starts. And with time, when we get purified by doing deity worship, chanting the holy name, Shravan, Kirtan, etc., we'll come to the stage of worshipping the Lord on a higher stage with full surrender. And Govinda Das is saying, this is what is my abhilasha, this is what I desire. All of us have to desire this. All of us. Because if we desire intensely, Krishna will sanction. If anyone desires that, Krishna, I want to attain you this very life, and this is only desire, Krishna will sanction. And how do we understand this intense desire we have? The devotee will always keep thinking about that, and he'll always, whenever he comes in front of the altar, he'll keep praying about that. That's called as intense desire. And if anyone has that intense desire, Krishna is telling himself in scriptures that I will sanction that desire for sure. And he is very clear that my devotees will never perish. If my devotee is sincere, I will drag him back home, back to Godhead, wo chahe ya na chahe. Sometimes devotees say that, Prabhuji, I don't think Krishna is needed for that. Devotees are enough. And one devotee was giving graphic example. iskcon Devotee Association is like Mumbai local trains. You have to just stand in front and naturally you'll get in. Yes, the ones who have not gone, you can try, you can go and try. Now for a good 20 years I was in Mumbai, so. And even if you does not want to get out, they will make sure that you get out of it. Yes. So in that way, when we are there in the association of devotees, when we got this birth in the association of devotees, we have to just be there and we'll flow with them and we'll go back home, back to Godhead. So requesting all of you, on behalf of Govinda Das Thakur, that let's take this opportunity of human form very seriously and always remind ourselves that Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala. Anytime, anytime, we'll get into the next cycle of birth and death. And just by doing Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran and other process of devotional service, we can get purified. And who is purifying us? Personally, Krishna is purifying us. And therefore, we have high chance of going back home, back to God. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.